how do I choose the best name for my cleaning business? So this is something that is extremely simple, but many people just skip through this very quickly when they're getting started. But the reality is that your name will stay with you for the length that your company operates. So we need to make sure that we get it right. So in today's video, I want to take you through the step-by-step process to make sure you come up with a killer name, then to think about some of the things you absolutely want to avoid. And then once you have that nailed down, then the number one thing that you need to focus on after that. So let's dive straight in. So first of all, we need to come up with some ideas. And, this is where ChatGPT is a great resource. The first thing I would probably type in would be, I would say, I'm coming up with some names for my cleaning business. We do house cleaning. We're in Seattle. Give me some ideas. And it could be, variants of cleaning, synonyms of cleaning. So it could be tidying, cleaning, sparkle, polishing, all these types of things. Put it into ChatGPT, see what it comes out with. There's a few things that we want to do is we want to try and make it unique and memorable, because what you'll find is that word of mouth is really, really important, and it will get more powerful as you grow the business. Because let's say you have a client and they're really, really happy with you, and they go to lunch with one of their friends, and one of their friends is saying, I need a cleaner. The one that I have at the moment isn't very good. I want to switch companies. And you want to be in a position where that client can easily recall the name of your company and tell the name of that company to their friend, and then the friend can remember it. And then when they go back home, pull out their phone or on their laptop and searching for that cleaning company, it should be very easily, remembered. Because you'll be amazed how many clients out there who have cleaning companies, they don't even know the name of the company that they use. They just have some cleaning companies, some cleaners. So you want to have something that is quite memorable, quite clever. And what that means is that it will make sure that the word of mouth referral part of your business is really, really optimized. If you have a name that isn't very memorable, your clients can't remember it, and then the people that they tell, their friends and family, can't easily recall it, you're going to likely miss out on that word of mouth referrals. So we want to make sure that, once you come up with a short list of names that your friends can easily, say the name and easily recall it, you want to make sure that you avoid misspellings really as well, because most of the time, people will go onto Google and type it in, and if it's misspelled, you can run the risk of your company not coming up at the top of the search, and obviously that is a missed opportunity as well. So we want to come up with something memorable. We want to avoid misspellings. Make sure it's not too long as well. Obviously the longer the name, if it's multiple words, it's going to be harder to recall, harder to remember. So those are the sorts of things you want to avoid. And then the final thing that I tell people that is worth trying is that, think about the short list of names, and then think about saying that on the phone. So if a client calls in, you could say, good afternoon, it's Gringo Cleaning, or good afternoon, whatever name that you come out with. If it's too long or too much of a mouthful on the phone when you answer, it probably is an indicator that you need to shorten it down. So come up with that short list, and then the other final thing is try and mention it on the phone and see how it sounds as well. So once you've got a short list of ideas, nice and succinct, easily remembered, no misspellings, then you need to go to find if your website domain is available. And really what we want to try to do is find the name of your company with a .com. We want to try our hardest to find these .coms, because .com as opposed to a .io or .co, it is much more, seen to be much more trustworthy. Most people will probably put a .com at the end anyway, and it helps with email deliverability, and there's lots of technical things in there. So the .com is really where you want to go. But finding good, clever, memorable cleaning related names with a .com can be extremely difficult, because you'll have, not only will you have cleaning companies out there that have bought those domains, but there are lots of companies out there that buy loads of domains with the aim to resell, you need to go to Namecheap is one, but there are lots of domain websites where you can just type in your, the names that you've come up with and search to see if a .com comes up or, whatever endings. But as I said, really you want to try to get a .com if you can, and that's easier said than done. But, you'll probably spend a fair amount of time coming up with permutations, going back and forth with ChatGPT, saying, okay, I like this, green go cleaning is, I've just come up with that, but, I like this, but greengocleaning.com is taken, or greencleaning.com is taken, or gogreencleaning.com is taken. Give me some other variants, and you'll probably need to go back and forth a lot. And then you want to eventually come up with a small number of .com domains that are available. And this, as I said, is not going to be straightforward because most of the clever names out there will already be taken. But spend the time upfront coming up with your name, because you will have to live with this name for the entirety of your business. So if you're finding this video helpful, just please like and subscribe. It really, really helps me to understand what's the type of things that you guys like. So next, let's go into the things to avoid. So as I said, misspellings, too long names are things that we generally want to avoid. But there's a few other things, a few other tips that we need to make sure that we don't fall into the trap of. So the first tip is to not specifically include the service or location that you cover. So let's say you're a house cleaning business in Seattle. We generally want to avoid, say, housecleanersseattle.com, because the limitation of having a name like that is that, let's say you started out in house cleaning, but then you realized, actually, I want to do more commercial cleaning, and you are now a commercial cleaning business, but your website talks about house cleaning. That's going to impact your conversion rate. It's going to cause confusion with prospective clients. So having the house cleaning part in your domain limits the services that you can offer. The other mistake I see often is when people put their location. So you're based in Seattle, but let's say your cleaning company does really well and you want to expand from Seattle to another city in the US. And if someone comes to your website, let's say you are in LA and you are looking for a cleaning company, and your cleaning business, housecleanersseattle.com, offers cleaning services in Seattle and Los Angeles. If you then go to that domain and you're based in Los Angeles, but you then see the domain that talks about Seattle, again, that's going to create confusion. You will get a hit on your conversion rate in that way. So don't include your primary location. Don't include the specific service that you offer. So tidying, sparkle, cleaning, those types of things are okay, but I would avoid, say, house cleaning in the domain, or office cleaning in the domain, or residential cleaners, or maid service, because this will really limit the way that you expand your business. Because the reality is, as I said, you start the business, you might find that you want to pivot and go in different directions, and you don't want your domain name to limit you in that way. So the second tip to avoid is including your personal name in the domain. So, it could be your surname, or it could be your first name. And, the reason for that is there's a couple of things. First of all, I sort of feel that if you have your first name in the domain, and this is maybe a positive or a negative, but if it's a first name, it probably shows that it's a small company. Maybe it's just you doing the cleaning. And, as I talk about on other videos on my channel, really we want to go after the high paying customers. Because that is ultimately the way that you'll grow your business profitably. And generally, these higher paying customers want to make sure that their home is in safe hands. They probably want the idea of a bigger company, a company that has insurance and people that can cover if that cleaner's not available. And if they call them, they have office managers picking up the phone and things like that. Whereas if your first name, David's Cleaning Company, is in the domain, maybe that might show to them that this is just a small, it's an individual cleaner And that might be incorrect. There might be a big operation behind that, but the initial impression of having davidscleaningcompany.com in the domain might be off-putting to those higher paying clients. So avoid your first name in there. The second thing to say was I would probably avoid your surname in there. The surname is not as big a problem as the first name, but as we talked about with misspellings and things like that, sometimes surnames can be misspelt. And, looking much further down the road, let's say you decided to sell the business to another company, down the road, but they maintain your branding, there may be some confusion there as well. So I would just say, just forget about having your first name and your surname in the domain. Again, it gives a bit of a limitation, it may be off-putting to some clients. So third and final is, don't be too boring or generic. And, this ties into the idea of having a memorable name that you can tell your friends and their friends can tell their friends. Tide and shine, sparkle and polish, those types of things are sort of quite memorable, whereas top cleaning services or fantastic cleaning companies, those are just a little bit more boring, a bit more generic. And when you get those boring generic names, they just are less memorable, less likely, harder to build a brand and, those types of things. So don't be too boring and generic with those names as well. So once you've gone through all these steps, it will take time, but hopefully you'll have a short list of maybe 3 or 5 names which are available. Then what I would do is I would sit on it for a week. Don't say, okay, these are my top 3 names. I like this one the best. Let's go out and buy the domain for that. Because, you might wake up tomorrow and, think, nah, that's not really what I want to be doing, or that's not really the name that I like, or it's maybe misspelled. So leave it a week, ask your friends, family, see what they have to say. And after the week has come, hopefully there will be a name that keeps popping up and you think, yes, that's the one, that's the one. So after a week, I would then go into Namecheap or whatever domain website that you've been searching and then buy that domain. So once you have a name in place, that is a big tick. But then 99% of your time after you pick that name should be then focused on marketing. I need to get those first clients into my cleaning business. I need to generate revenue. I need to generate profit, because ultimately that is going to be the way that you can grow your business, by reinvesting the money you earn back into the company. So in this next video, I'm going to take you through how to get your first 10 cleaning clients. It'll show you exactly how to get started and to get that revenue coming in through the door. So I'll see you on the next one.